The United States trailing Turkey by 1-0 as you look down at Lincoln Financial Field. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. For the most sports in HD, you gotta get DirecTV. Welcome back to our coverage on ESPN. I'm Adrian Healy with John Harkes alongside, getting set for the second half. The send-off series, the 50,000 plus crowd here, John. Not exactly what they were looking for in terms of a send-off in the first half. So what can Bob Bradley and his men do in the second?
Well, I think number one is they can't get stretched, especially on the counterattack, which they did, and they were very slow to react defensively there. And you know, look, good intentions. Jonathan Spector coming forward with the ball, but not responsible enough, gets stripped of the ball, and then it happens at the other end.
Well, there are going to be some changes. Time to take a look at this afternoon's substitution fueled by Gatorade. There's going to be 4 of them, John.
Well, and again, it's still at this point where you're experimenting and you're looking to see who can play alongside who. Onyewu, we talked about being cautious as his first game the other night after 7 months of being off with the patella tendon surgery. So he comes back in. And then Torres is back in. Finley with the pace up front, the young player, looking to change the game sometimes. Steve Cherundolo, the ever-solid Steve Cherundolo is a right back. He was a captain the other night, so it's good to see him on the field as well. And these combinations, who mixes well with each other, that's all about the chemistry of the U.S. building towards June 12th against England.
So Bob Bradley ringing the changes. 4 of his 6 available substitutes used at halftime. This is the schedule looking ahead for the US. They leave for South Africa tomorrow, Sunday. Then June the 5th, Australia, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN2. And then England, the big one, 1:30 Eastern on ABC. The road to South Africa. It's the final stop here on home soil. Is it going to be a different story in the second half? Most of the 50,000 crowd anxious to see what the changes that Bob Bradley has employed at halftime can do to the overall dynamic and the tempo of the game, which, John, you have to say that Turkey controlled for the most part in the first half.
Well, they did. A lot of pace, good energy, and the quickness of play, the mind. That's the thing. You're always looking for players that have a soccer brain and they think fast. And now with Torres back in there, he's neat and tidy with the ball at his feet. Dempsey drops into midfield. Finley up top with Josie Altidore. And Cherundolo comes in at the right back. So some changes just to kind of shore up things, see what the shape's like. Yeah, to see that one touch from the Turkish players, their ball movement is so much faster at this point as compared to the U.S. The U.S. did it. There was a lot of good things, too, in the first half from the U.S. Just has to be more consistent.
Jay Demerit, and a resounding header to win the ball in midfield. Now Dempsey. Options available on his right, provided by Landon Donovan. Nice cut back against the grain. Just hanging there, but on the reach of Altidore, who's in retrieval mode. Bocanegra swinging it in. Donovan is there to meet it. Landon Donovan to Bradley. Well, that would have been the perfect start to the second half. What an intervention by Servet Çetin. He made the block and saved a surefire goal.
Well, it was an excellent build-up and a good ball to the back post. Landon does so well just to control it and slow it down, lays it back. And Michael Bradley made a huge run from a deep position there. But again, Çetin is an excellent block. And this is what Bocanegra provides, a deep, lazy cross for you from the left side. There it is. You think that Bradley's going to score. It's a cert. An excellent defensive play by Çetin, the number 2. And that's a better start from the U.S. Going forward, good attack.
And John, you called it, Robbie Finley, there he is. He's going to play up front, isn't he, with Josie Altidore. It means Clint Dempsey is going to slip back into a midfield role.
Yeah, and again, you know, he's a young player, not a lot of experience at this level, so he's going to be nervous stepping on the field.
We had 45 minutes, John, to look at the Clint Dempsey, Josie Altidore tandem up front. First time it ever started together. Any signs of promise in your eyes?
Well, I think there's always going to be signs of promise, and the understanding between these two players. They know each other so well. But again, that chemistry, they haven't played together as strikers before, so working that out. This is all part of the exercise here. For the big picture, that's the options that the coaching staff, Bob Bradley and them, have. Look, see who works well with him.
No changes made by Turkey. half-time. This is Robbie Findlay. And sprawling to reach it, Volkan Demirel. A very quiet first half. Turkish number 1. Arda Turan, who was far from quiet in that first period.
You see the comfort level he and between Emery, number 5, just exchanging of passes so well. Look at the possession that they've done, Turkey, just to get out of pressure. This is a good side, this Turkish side. Gushining will be very happy that he's taking over this national team.
Well, and these are Turkish players playing to impress their new boss, so to speak. Gushining is here, not officially allowed to sit on the bench today because he's still under contract to Russia. And that was really the first failure of his managerial career, not guiding Russia.
Yeah, exactly. And
to the World Cup finals.
And they went into that playoff against Slovenia, who's in Group C with the US. Slovenia pulled up such a great upset in that playoff game. Getting that goal away, very important goal away, and then scoring at home.
Kazim, good jump from Oguchi Onyewu. Every move will be monitored very closely. Cherundolo. One of the real plus points, I thought, John, for the US on Tuesday night against the Czech, Steve Cherundolo.
Oh, he's such a mature player now. Very solid for Hanover in the Bundesliga. And he provides good cover. He understands the game well. His distribution out of the back is good.
One of only 6 players in the squad with previous World Cup experience. In terms of games played, 15 of the 23 in their first ever World Cup squad for Bob Bradley. Average age is right about where you want it to be, perhaps just a shade under 27 years old, as opposed to 28.5 4 years ago. Clint Dempsey was part of that team. Germany scored against Ghana. His first ever US goal came against England, remember, back in 2005, and he'll be looking to repeat that trick 2 weeks from now in Rustenburg. Donovan looking to set the table here. And the US crowd are hungry. 5 players in a posse for the US, and Oguchi Onyewu is wide open. Quite enough flight on the ball, and again it's the counter-attack threat posed by the Turks, but Robbie Findlay using his speed to get back and intervene.
Excellent defending, that chase from behind from Robbie Findlay. Very well done. He covered the ball for the US. Look at this counter-attack now. This is very good.
Donovan squared inside.
Josie didn't want to get hurt. Went into that tackle, kind of, I'm not sure about it. It was a good ball by Landon. Maybe he's thinking about June 12th. He doesn't want to get injured, but thought he could have ran onto it, hit it first time. It was tight.
Encouraging start to the second half for the United States. Already a slightly different dynamic tempo about their approach.
They do, and I think the energy levels are a bit higher. But the understanding, the spacing between each other. And again, the shape of the team, so important.
Findlay. Breakout season last year with Real Salt Lake in MLS, and he's won a corner.
Yeah, and I like the diagonal run from Findlay, and he goes in behind Josie Altidore, as he showed as a target player. You always need options, especially the players out of the back. Can't have just one player that's open. You need 2, 3 options all the time to make your mind up for you.
There's going to be a Turkish switch. He's looking at Mehmet Topal, who's known as Spider in Turkey, those long legs. A defensive midfield player who likes to break up attacks. He's going to replace Selçuk Inan.
Selçuk Inan came inside as a left side of midfield. He tucked in quite a bit in that first half. Did a lot of running.
So Mehmet Topal on. He's going to be moving to Valencia next season in the Spanish Primera. His first port of call, his own penalty area to try and defend this United States corner, taken by Donovan. It was Kazim who took evasive action, but it'll be a repeat trick for Donovan from the corner kick.
No, and you see the run from Michael Bradley. He makes a very strong run to that near post. He and sometimes Bocanegra will make that run. Bocanegra scored so many goals off of set pieces. So is Michael Bradley. There it is at the near post, marked tightly.
Donovan, no, it was right into a crowd. Volkan Demirel did well under duress. Cherundolo back into the mix. Montenegro's attempt to fling himself and make connection just came up short, and now Turkey launch another raid. Emre, such a storied international career with Inter and with Newcastle. Tunçay, well over the top. And Turkey's leading marksman. He scored 22 times for his country, Tunçay.
And Tunçay does such a good job of, not only just getting forward, but now in the midfield on the right side. We'll take a look at Carlos Bocanegra. Better keep an eye on him with that groin injury. The hernia operation he had May 5th. So he's still looking to recover, get back to full fitness.
Now Finley. Well, sign of the confidence he possesses, immediately going for goal. A left-footed curler.
That's a good ball. Josie goes back into the midfield looking for the ball from Bradley. He finds that first touch is very good from Finley, preparing that ball to get a shot off.
Now the 2010 FIFA World Cup kicks off Friday, June the 11th, live from South Africa. Our coverage beginning at 9:30 a.m. as ESPN, as Mexico face the host country, South Africa. Uruguay against France following at 2. Then on Saturday, June the 12th, the United States taking on England. 1:30 Eastern on ABC. Also, you can catch every game on ESPN Radio, also ESPN3.com. Still trailing here in this second game in the send-off series from Philadelphia. But a much improved opening period to the second half for the United States. Finlay playing his part in the improvement. Donovan picking up Dempsey. There was no angle for Dempsey to connect with Finlay. John, a different look to the centre of midfield now with Torres partnering Michael Bradley. Very different sort of player, isn't he, Jose Torres to Ricardo Clark?
Yeah, I mean, he's very technical on the ball. And he holds it well under pressure,
Ironic cheers for the Philadelphia crowd as a yellow card comes out. I think Dempsey was the recipient of the rather ungainly challenge there from Mehmet Topal, who's just come on. Torres deciding to play the free kick short to Bradley. Turkey back in their defensive shell. Cherundolo trying to pierce it. Bocanegra with a big leap. This is just the sort of situation, John, that the US are likely to face along the way in South Africa, perhaps against an Algeria or a Slovenia. Side bunkering down, putting 10 times 11 back behind the ball. Can the US break them down? Donovan showing that you might be able to do just that. A nice cutback for Dempsey, but Emre had read the situation perfectly. It was Sabri Sarıoğlu who intervened for Turkey.
And Donovan did so well on the turn. Deception. He was sucking the defender there, and he turned well. He just had some options. Didn't connect.
Arda Turan. all the way back to Volkan Demirel. Now the US play their last friendly before the World Cup on Saturday, June the 5th against Australia. You can see it on ESPN2, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And John, that game just a week before the opening game against England. So how does Bob Bradley approach that game against the Socceroos?
Well, the thing is, you know, in that particular game, it's so close to the opening game. Both teams are going to be thinking, I don't want to get injured. Look at this ball over the top.
Donovan is through. Landon Donovan. And it's there for Altidore. A gem from Josie. The build-up was perfection. ovation from the United States, and this crowd has erupted.
And it comes through the midfield, excellent understanding, and the combinations. And here's the first ball out of the back. And you'll see here, look at the layoff. Finley just turns and a chip over the top and then run from Landon. I love that deep run from Landon Donovan. And the unselfishness, the first touch, the confidence under pressure, and he lays it on the doorstep for Altidore, and he's happy, as he should be. But you better run over and go give Landon Donovan a big hug, because that run from Landon, the first touch, everything about it was excellent.
Two MLS players combining to great effect. They're on the way again with Finley. He's such an impact, isn't he? That's why Bob Bradley put him in the 23-man squad to come off the bench and change the course of games.
Yeah, and it's good from Finley because he looks up, he has patience, but if you don't have that run, then he has no options. The run makes the decision for Finley. It's an excellent run from a deep-lying midfielder, Landon Donovan.
A huge boost to the confidence of that young man as well. Jozy Altidore, short of goals this season.
Very true. Strikers need to score to keep that confidence high. And an indifferent season with Hull. He said he only scored once in 28 games. So it's good to see him back in scoring with the U.S. jersey on.
What a different complexion to the game as Tarundolo tries to make headway. He's won a corner.
He made something out of very little. He was tight in the space there, Steve Tarundolo. And he gets a corner out of it, the veteran player. It's a good start to the second half with the changes that have come in, the subs. Finley being one of them.
Donovan at the controls for the corner. On the hour mark, at the link. Onyewu, Rose couldn't quite connect. Now Jay Demerits had to be very watchful indeed. He got there in time.
Well, the U.S. has to be very careful on a couple of set pieces, especially corners. They're leaving themselves very wide open on the counterattack. Some one-on-ones and way too much open space.
There's been a Turkish substitution, number 16, Sercan Yildirim has come on for Kazim. There's Dempsey finding Altidore. Well, nothing was unfolding in front of him, forced to go for goal. And a scoop effort over the top. Jozy Altidore, whose only goal in the Premier League came against big opposition. It was a goal against Manchester City. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. For the most sports in HD, you gotta get DirecTV.
The game's opening up even more, Adrian, from one end to the other. Getting stretched, and the shape of the U.S. is very important. Now they tactically line up with each other. It's going to help them in the long run.
It's Tuncay for Turkey. Arda Turan, the danger man. Tarundolo trying to keep the clamps on him. He's done well. But Tuncay, Emre! Onyewu sacrificing himself. And the follow-up shot is drilled wide by Mehmet Topal as the United States survive.
Well, very brave is the first thing that comes to mind from Onyewu. And he's always been big and strong in the 18. And here it again, look at it, he just throws his body at it. Says, why not? The more concern is, why is Emery so wide open? He's getting a ball laid back to him, a free shot there unless Gooch is involved. Gucci Onyewu, excellent defensive play. That's going to lift his spirits too. After not playing for 7 months, Adrian, you want to have some good in your life. He's coming back from a tough injury.
Finley just running out of real estate.
Well, he's running out of real estate, but as a young player, he has Landon Donovan behind him screaming, drop it, drop it, drop it. And those are the things he's got to add to his game at the highest level.
Gooch denying one of his former teammates in that last build-up, Emre. The two of them played briefly together at Newcastle United. Well, Bradley has had to be very patient in terms of Gucci Onyewu's recovery. Says it's really a question of taking it day by day at the moment. Played 60 minutes in Connecticut, get 45 here in Philadelphia. What a different atmosphere in Financial Field to the one we experienced at half-time. The US clearly second best in the first half to Turkey, but the change of personnel, the change of approach has worked wonders. But Turkey have regrouped and now are starting to threaten themselves again. Here's Emre. Substitutes Can Yildirim just a little off the pace. Donovan going to go at a load. Relieved of the ball by Arda Turan. Sabri Salioglu. Crowded out. Torres
very well
is there.
done. Hello. There's the skill. Love it from Torres. But good understanding, and the team is together. They're defending well in blocks. I like that. It's not just one individual being stretched out, Adrian. It's 1, 2, 3 players work together. That's the chemistry. That's what the U.S. has been all about throughout qualifying. You create that bond for each other. Torres, very well done.
Oh, man, it was overlooked by Sven-Göran Eriksson when he was Mexico coach. He's in Mexico with Pachuca. Accepted a call-up from Bob Bradley during the qualification process.
Well, the thing is, he's always composed even under pressure, Adrian, in short spots on the field. And he's a good passer. He's got skill to get out of trouble when he's in tight spaces. And he has good awareness. His vision's nice. I like it. Good player, Torres.
His fourth season now at the very highest level in Mexico. Quite an addition to the squad.
Good cover from Michael Bradley. I like that. He's close to him. Whoa. Almost took off Dempsey's head there in that challenge.
Now Cherundolo leading Arda Turan. Laying it up off for Donovan. Has 2 for company. Landon Donovan, 4th all-time in U.S. caps.
The pressure from the U.S. is so much better this second half than what it was in the first. As soon as the ball turns over from the U.S., they're getting close to the ball. And they were dropping off way too much. Look at this ball in behind.
Now ball around the back for Can Yildirim, but he was offside.
He didn't hear the referee's whistle, did he? I saw Tim Howard look up. And I know a lot of players, a lot of fans might be thinking, uh-oh, he's missed that ball. But I think he kind of saw the ref. The flag was up on the side.
Can, who plays for the newly crowned champions of Turkey, Bursaspor. Their first ever title in the Turkish Super League. Most of the Turkey players traditionally playing for the Istanbul Big Three, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce and Besiktas. The United States, by the way, in their squad of 23, just 4 current MLS players, but 13 who started their career in MLS.
Every time Torres is getting the ball, look at this ball he just played. He is...
Bocanegra's cross!
He's lifted the game for the U.S. He really has. Torres coming on at halftime has been a big difference. He's showing for the ball, Adrian. He's a player with confidence. He wants it. He's not afraid to take the responsibility on. You need players like that at the highest level. More players that say, I want it, give it to me. And there he is again.
First outlet for Tim Howard. Jose Torres, still only 22. Another diminutive midfielder, Emre, taking it away from Bradley.
Diminutive, but he's still getting the tackles in, you know? Iniesta, Xavi, Deco, these players, they're good on the ball. That's what you want. Vision, creativity, but can you defend? And he can do that.
His position of the field, John, where perhaps Bob Bradley has the most options available to him.
He does. I mean, you got to remember, too, he had Maurice Seydoux in that position the other night. Good ball.
Now Donovan trying to use his pace. He's got around the back. Donovan! Wouldn't have counted. The referee gave the foul. Saglar Barinci went down. as Donovan tried to go around it.
And again, Adrian, the other difference too is watch how the two outside midfielders, once they lose the ball here, and it's a great ball from Bradley, early awareness, but Donovan, as a right-sided midfielder, is now in the central part of the field, saying, here I am, here's your option, give me the ball. And he wants it, and that's a good early ball from Michael Bradley. Well done.
So Torres only 5'5". Look at the second half shot statistics. What a different story to the first half. US out shooting Turkey by 5-2 margin as we reach the midway point. Bradley, Finley, always making runs, darting runs, trying to make himself available. He's taken Shaiteen with him. Finley trying to trick his way around and has done so again. Unfortunately, Robbie Finley's momentum just took him beyond the byline.
Well, I mean, the other players are waiting for a delivery in the box. You know, Josie's made a run in there. Bradley came forward. Clint Dempsey's coming around the back. It's great that he's got the pace and skill, but once you take a player on, you get him off balance. Half a yard is all you need. Clip the ball in there. Get it off your feet early. And those are the things he's going to have to learn on the way towards the World Cup.
Finley really came out of almost nowhere to score 12 goals last year with Real Salt Lake as they won it all.
Well, again, this year he's not really been in that same form, Adrian. Only 1 goal this year in 12 games, maybe more. But still get the opportunity. And when you miss a guy like Charlie Davies with all the explosive pace and the finishing, well, Bob Bradley, you're looking at another player that can kind of play that role. In the World Cup.
As it's turned out, 3 forwards who might not have expected to be a part of the US World Cup squad are travelling to South Africa alongside Finley. Hercules Gomez and Edson Buddle made the cut.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I was a bit surprised by the omission of Brian Ching. I think he offers a different style of play, that veteran player that can hold the ball up. I'm sure many people were surprised to know Brian Ching. It was well thought out from the coaching staff. It's the hardest decisions they've had to make, and it's a day-to-day situation in the training. That's what they're looking for.
Seven players of the US 23-man squad had previously played for Bob Bradley in MLS. The 3 teams he coached at Chicago Fire, the New Jersey Metro Stars, and Chivas.
Get on it!
Turkey preparing another switch down in front of us as Saglar makes his way forward and out in top.
And when they switch it like that, Adrian, they're really opening up that field quite a bit. They've done a good job of spreading the field there. Look at the space now.
Out in top. Big impact. Bayern Munich's run to the Champions League final this season. Hamid Altintop. Played 4 games against Manchester United and Lyon, and then in the final against Inter. Emre. Tunchai. Altintop. No foul. He's right in front of the referee.
Yeah, Bradley never touched him. Looked like the U.S. were almost off to the races again there. That ball catching the feet, Landon Donovan on the run. This is where the U.S. cannot afford to fall asleep. There's another good tackle from Torres and Donovan. Look at that. Working with each other. Oh, that's a fair tackle. I disagree with the referee. And that's where the U.S., you know, they have a lot of success like that when they work together as a team.
Well, Silvio Petrescu had a very good look at this.
Well, the first challenge comes in, I was at handball. He was closer to me. And Stan corrected next to the Adrian Healy. Stop standing on my feet, by the way.
Semih Şentürk is going to be standing on the pitch very shortly. He's replacing Hamid Altintop, who's finally run out of gas. Semih Şentürk, who is known as the lifeguard because he so often comes off the bench to save teams.
Yep. He provides that spark, doesn't he, Adrian?
Plays for Fenerbahce, a big part of the Turkey squad at Euro 2008, the squad who were known as the Cardiac Kids. You might remember them. They always came back late in games
and just
to win.
And give you an idea of what Fenerbahce is all about. They're almost like the Real Madrid of Spain. You know, we were talking to some different fans before. Here we go.
Free kick posed no threat to Tim Howard, who's immediately out, though, not happy with the way his wall broke. He's barking at them inside his own penalty area.
Again, Fenerbahce, a big club. Many players seek the profession there from the Turkish side.
Sabri Sarıoğlu it was who launched that shot. Not enough to test Howard. There is the manager in waiting for Turkey, Gus Hiddink. Not officially head coach yet, we should point out, until August the 1st, but what a record he has with national teams. They call him Lucky Gus, but he's more than lucky.
Well, he is more than lucky. He's a very talented, knowledgeable coach and great manager of personalities. We see another sub for the U.S. coming in right now.
Hiddink, former coach with Russia, with the Netherlands, South Korea and Australia 4 years ago in Germany.
This is a smart sub for Bocanegra. Sorry, Adrian, didn't mean to cut you off, but you know, it's his first game back too since the hernia operation on May 5th. You don't want to push it too hard, but it's good to see him get through that in terms of minutes, building towards June 5th, the friendly against Australia, and then the opening game in the World Cup June 12th. So that's a big picture. Coaching staff knows they got to keep an eye on him. The medical staff, I'm sure, are always in Bob Bradley's ear saying, hey, that's enough, pull him off now, he's gotten through it.
Now Dempsey is through here, Clint Dempsey. Clint Dempsey has done it! The demolition man, he bulldozed his way through the Turkish penalty area, and the US have turned a one-goal deficit into a 2-1 lead.
Well, it's an excellent answer. You talk about Dempsey in the Confederations Cup coming forward from the midfield position to score goals. Now he drops back into midfield, but finds himself here. Bit of a lucky touch off his back, but excellent. Look at this, how he muscles through it, stays with the ball, composure, and the finishing that you see at Fulham week in and week out. He slips it underneath the keeper. Volkan Demirel cannot do anything to stop the Turkish side. And he finishes Clint Dempsey to make it 2-1 second half.
Well, Dempsey told me yesterday, John, that there is no feeling in the world like scoring a goal. It doesn't matter how he gets them. And I've got to say, he scored one of the goals of the season in all of European football this year, that winner against Juventus.
Yeah, the chip over the top, right? Fantastic. I remember back against Ghana, he received the ball from DeMarcus Beasley and scored that goal against Ghana in the box. So he's capable of scoring goals, no matter where he is on the field. We're finding that out. Up front, left midfield, he likes to cut inside against the grain.
Clint Dempsey, 18th goal for his country, makes him 6th all-time, all on his own now, ahead of DeMarcus Beasley. And who knows, 3 more over the course of the next month, and he'll catch up with the player in front of him, Bruce Murray.
There's a player that when he does good things on the field, he builds more and more confidence, becomes unpredictable with his high skill.
For Turkey, threatening here with Tuncay Cherundolo, arrived in the nick of time.
Tuncay trying to draw the penalty there, but really Cherundolo, just a little bit of assurance came across. We'll go back hopefully and take a look at Dempsey's goal one more time as he found the space on the left-hand side, and here it is off the throw-in. And it's good reactions. Just it's a ball that gets played, and he does well to let the ball come off of him from Landon Donovan. And it's, hey, that's a quick thinking play from the U.S. Look at that celebration with Torres. They're enjoying themselves.
I think they've worked on that before the game.
You think?
Goal number 18, just 61 appearances. Moving back to midfield, and he scores a goal for you. That's what Bob Bradley must be thinking. Well, once again, Donovan was the man who made it possible. And 2 assists today for Landon Donovan, the man who leads MLS in assists so far this season.
Yeah, and if he's not scoring for the U.S., he's either assisting or creating. He's always involved in the play.
Well, Tim Howard has to come out of his area. He's got enough on it. It's Semi Senturk who's picked it up. Arda Turan for Turkey. Charge down.
Good step by Steve Cherundolo.
Low drive, which Howard is able to hold on to. It came from Mehmet Topal.
Topal coming, he has a great strike from distance, but easily Tim Howard. And I say easily, but because of his confidence, Tim is known so well, not just being acrobatic and making excellent saves, but holding on to the ball. He does well to cushion that and hold on to the ball.
Tuncay came off for Nihat. One hugely experienced forward replacing another for Turkey. Now, this is good progress from the substitute. Oh, and it's right across the face of goal. Susan Yildirim with excellent work to cut inside Bornstein. Rolled it across the face of goal, but there was no finishing touch.
Yeah, and Yildirim does so well with the skill, and he gets it through Bornstein, who just came on as a sub. So the pace of the game is going to be quick, and you've got to adjust very quickly to that pace. Dangerous play from Turkey. Nobody running on the end of it, Adrian. The U.S. needs to kind of defense. There's a bit offside there. Excellent play from Howard, but he's offside. Again, the U.S. has got to be able to switch quicker from the attack, in the mind of the attack, going back to the defending shape. And here it is as they step up. It's a good step just at the last moment. Or was he onside? Wait a minute. Hold on. He looked like he was onside there. Jay Demerit, the number 15, keeping him on top of the 18. Stuart Holden played his first 90-minute game Tuesday, against the Czech Republic.
Yeah, Bob Bradley last night, John, mentioning that it was just that fact that prompted him to leave him out of the starting lineup today and try something different. Holden, again, working his way back from injury, too.
Yeah, and it's good to see that he's healthy, and he actually went into a few hard challenges against the Czech Republic. No bad reactions, because he broke his ankle in March against the Netherlands away from home, so he's healthy. Stuart Holden gives another option coming off the bench, or perhaps he's fighting for that starting position.
Josie Altidore is the man to make way. Here's the reception he's getting. Here's his goal.
He was lucky to be on the doorstep here. Finley into Donovan. Great touch past the keeper. And he lays it in front. You can't miss from there. Josie definitely made sure he didn't. It's good for his confidence and his spirits. All the strikers in the world want to score and score. They have amnesia, the ones they miss. They don't think about it. A bit of a rash challenge there from Emery on Torres.
Now Dempsey trying to open up some space for Donovan, who's going to give chase. Sabri Sadioglu got to clear his lines.
Oh, I like that. See how Gooch just steps in there. That's better.
Torres shrugging off semi-center, but running out of room.
You hear the referee yell, keep playing. Let's allow the game to play on as much as possible. The pace of the game has been good. Very good.
Torres.
Can they get there, though? Oh, almost. It's a good effort.
He was seeking out Bornstein, wasn't he, Jonathan Bornstein? Inside the final 10 minutes. Lincoln Financial Field. So often this is an old cliche, John, a game of two halves, and once again, it's proved to be the case. Complete polar opposites.
Absolutely. From the first to the second half, the U.S. Whoa, watch his footing there. First and second half, the mental approach to the game, the sharpness, the awareness on it, it's all changed. And with the U.S. keeping their shape and more organized a little bit in the second half, they're able to create and go forward. It's been very good. Defensively, still a bit of a concern, though, to get stretched too much. You know, be compact. Tighten up that, shore up that defense in front of Tim Howard.
Well, this is another good test, John, of a scenario they are likely to face in South Africa, protecting a slender lead inside the final 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, always. Always it's an exercise, whether you're 1 down, 2 down, 2 up. Sometimes you'll hear teams and managers yell, if you're 1-0 up or 2-0 up, it's 0-0. Play like it's 0-0. And just fight and be organized. And that's good, because you don't want to have that lapse of mentality at all at the highest level.
Here's Emre. Looking long for Arda Turan. Cherundolo climbing high above him. Holden back to help out. Cherundolo straining every muscle to get there first, but it seems he caught a big semi-Turk under the ball. Cherundolo doesn't like it. It's going to be a free kick to Turkey.
Well, Turkey working very hard. They keep that possession in the corner. They're applying pressure there to Holden and Steve Cherundolo. Creates this opportunity for the Turkish.
Now, Nihat played so long in Spain with Real Sociedad and Villarreal.
You got to watch that space just behind Michael Bradley.
Howard forced to just palm it over the top. Couldn't take any chances, Tim Howard.
No, and Arda Turan, the number 14, makes a good run there. Bradley kind of stays with him, and you see the space as this ball gets whipped in. It's good from Howard. Wow, that ball had a lot of speed on that. Very, very hard one to react to quickly. Does the same thing and puts it over for a corner.
Driven very deep indeed. Nihat was waiting. Well, one of those that looks spectacular when it works. When it doesn't, it's rather different. Oh, what a send-off it's been from the crowd in Philadelphia. 55,407 packing in to the lake to send this United States team on their way to South Africa. It's the team's second ever visit to the home of the Eagles.
Again, the Philadelphia Union doing their part with the supporting group they have here throughout the stadium.
Yeah, the Union have played their first two home games here, haven't they? They've got their new stadium.
That's been amazing. The reaction
ready
from the supporters group has been excellent.
Now, once the World Cup gets underway, this is what Group C looks like for the United States. England, then Slovenia, and then Algeria. Bob Bradley has to be looking at that Slovenia game, I think, John, as the pivotal one.
Well, again, and this is why he's played against a Turkey side. They're similar to Slovenia in speed of play, the way they won that playoff against Russia. But it's about 3 games, Adrian. We talked about it earlier. How do you prepare for each game you step on the field? Oh, it's a shame there. That ball played in behind Bradley. Cherundolo, plenty of players getting forward. Clint Dempsey's high up the pitch here for the U.S. towards the end of this match.
Holden has done well. Michael Bradley is in here. Dempsey! Well, Bradley so unselfish to try and tee up Dempsey instead. And his shot just the way.
It's an excellent run from Michael Bradley. I'm just, go ahead and hit it. I've seen Bradley shoot from that area, and he has a good strike. Look at the run, the ball, the weight of the pass, so important from Stuart Holden. He does well, though, Michael Bradley. I'm not going to fault him at all, but he's been making some excellent surging runs into the box, off the post from Dempsey. So unlucky.
Demerich taking over. It was a big, big call, wasn't there, from Clint Dempsey? Bradley,
he was shouting, yeah, he was screaming to make his mind up for him, but I'm almost thinking, go ahead, Michael, finish it off. Keeper did well to close the angle down, so he did well to find Clint Dempsey in the box. Well, that's what Michael Bradley offers you, though, from a deep position, too. If you have the shape in midfield, he can get forward. His engine is excellent. His fitness level is so high. This is better from the U.S. in the second half, doing well, managing the ball and managing the game throughout.
Stuart Holden ramping up his fitness level. So too Michael Bradley, who played 29 games in the Bundesliga season at Borussia Mönchengladbach. And the US have carved out a free kick just outside the Turkish penalty area. Cherundolo was sent sprawling. Cherundolo, a stalwart himself in Germany. Now,
watch
the crafty left foot of Jose Torres.
And this is the difference. I mean, he's able to whip. You know, Landon Donovan, we love the way he provides good service. Torres whipping it in towards the keeper, Volkan Demirel. So he's got decisions to make here. If he puts it in between that 6-yard area, it's a good ball.
Oh, near post! Oh! Well, he struck the same outside of the post that Clint Dempsey had just hit.
Love the unexpected from Torres. That is excellent. Creativity to confidence. And he says, I know everybody's in the 18 and wants the ball, but almost catching Volkan Demirel, the keeper from Turkey, sleeping. Did well.
Could Jose Torres about to launch himself on the world stage this summer? So often the US have lost out, John, when it comes to players who have a choice of which country they represent. They won with Torres. Here he is again. Holden onto Turundolo.
There's excellent patience from the US as they spread the field out, switch it. Doing well.
Inside the final minute, Turundolo wins another corner for the US. Their 7th for the game. What has been a tale of 2 halves, much to the delight of the large majority of this 55,000 crowd.
Well, Bob Bradley will be happy too in the second half because it's the small details he's always looking at, the fine-tuning. The little nuances in the game. And he's starting to see a better U.S. side in the second half managing that than they were in the first.
Finley and Donovan. The bind to set up Dempsey so well. This time Torres floating it in. Dempsey is offside.
Well, again, you see Torres be delivering that ball in, and now he's closing down on the left side. Ian Bornstein.
Now, Yildirim is through, past Bornstein, Demerit across the median, semi-centered. Just looking for help behind him, there was none. And the US escaped what was a really threatening situation.
And you're right, it is an escape because, you know, the substitute was able to take on straight away. And the US, again, in that counterattack, just got to make sure that Jonathan Bornstein doesn't overcommit too early. Drop off and contain, slow the play down. That's what you're looking for from veteran players in the back.
Only 3 minutes of stoppage time. I think Robbie Finley has made his mark. It's on the move here with Gökhan Zan for company, who's forced to haul him down. He's been a live wire. Gökhan Zan duly booked.
Well, the thing is, too, you're looking at Finley making a difference second half. Stewart holding the shape. Dempsey goes back to the midfield. Onyewu comes on. So we said microscopes are on certain individuals, but collectively as a team, too. So how does it work? So that balance, that chemistry is always so important, and that's what Bob Bradley's always looking for, too, and that's what the send-off games are all about.
Now only 3 forward for this free kick, as you might expect, deep in stoppage time, nursing a lead. Donovan and Finley again, playing it between the two of them, and why not? A good lesson, milking the clock and killing a game off. The United States want to be in a position in South Africa to be able to kill games off. Dempsey tracking hard. Turundolo looking down the line for Holden. Emre. One last chance perhaps for Turkey, but it gets away from Nihat. That should just about do it. This crowd on their feet. They have been really for most of the second half. And they have saluted the United States victory in the send-off series. They will fly to South Africa, savoring the taste of victory.
And it's excellent because it builds confidence in a side that are still searching for certain answers and solutions. I think Bob Bradley and his staff found some of those solutions today. The chemistry of the players, and now they're able to bond with their crowd. And an excellent send-off Memorial Day weekend. And good positive thoughts. And Torres, man of the match for me. That second half, he came on and made the difference in the midfield. Very well done. Landon Donovan, as always, providing a spark, the leadership. Bob Bradley has some more answers, I would think, Adrian, now after today's game.
Well, we'll have a first half to look at and a second half which was completely different in its makeup and its flow and its rhythm. Talking of flow, let's have a look at tonight's Flow GV. Flow of the match.
Well, it was excellent in the first one. Combination from this young kid, Finley, comes in the second half, and then Landon Donovan, who is instrumental in both of them, creating, look at that, persistence from Dempsey, stays after it. The celebrations are there. Is that a little celebration, maybe a tribute to Charlie Davies with the crazy leg?
Well, Finley and Dempsey combining. Donovan playing his part too. Sam's Army are going nowhere for quite some time. Now let's go down onto the pitch where our reporter Jeremy Schaap has Clint Dempsey standing by.
Adrian, thanks. Clint Dempsey scores in the second half to give the U.S. a 2-1 victory here. Clint, describe that goal for me.
Yeah, Landon played a good ball through. I was trying to make the run and hit off the side of my hip. And then the defender was going to get a touch, so I made sure to just try to get there, just take time his hand so I could have a chance at the ball. And I got a good bounce and was able to put it through the keeper's legs.
Obviously, a lot of substitutions in the second half. Why was the U.S. so much more dynamic in the second half of play?
Yeah, I mean, first half, we just weren't moving the ball quick enough. I was rusty. I was trying to get in the pockets, trying to get on the turn. But I think Finley, his speed caused them to open up a little bit. They had to be a little bit worried of that, so they started dropping back. And then you saw me and Landon getting in those holes a little bit better. And then you were seeing Landon able to make a run off Finley on the first goal and hit a good ball across to Josie. So I think that was the difference, just kind of spreading them a little bit more. First half, we didn't do that, and it allowed us to get in those pockets.
Clint, thanks very much. Clint Dempsey scores his 18th goal in 61 appearances for the U.S. men's senior national team. Back to you, Adrian.
Thanks so much, Jeremy. The United States beating Turkey for the first time in their history by 2-1 here at Philadelphia. We'll step away when we return. Forward to Bob Lee and Alexi Lalas in the studio.
2 goals in a 17-minute span and 4 substitutions made at halftime. That's the difference. Alexi Lalas, Bob Lee. 2-1, the USA getting the result in Philadelphia over Turkey in their farewell match. And so absolutely different chemistry, different feel, different pace, different everything to this USA side in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, questions and maybe some answers, too. I mean, Donovan and Dempsey, obviously, when they are playing well, this team plays well. Then when they move back into the midfield, they just seemed a whole lot comfortable. It's not that Dempsey didn't play well up top. Just when Finley came in, he provided that other dimension. Now, is Finley the answer to all the problems? We don't know yet. We don't know yet. It still remains to be seen. But it's nice to see him come in and do a good job, and it's nice to see Torres come into the midfield and control it like that. So it was a much better second half, but there's still some questions out there.
Which are the questions?
Who are you going to play up top? Are you going to put Clint Dempsey up top, or are you going to put a Finley or an Edson Buttle right now? That's a big, big question right now.
But next I see you, we'll be in South Africa working together. Looking forward to it. Travel
Got your passport ready?
All set. All got your shots all ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And we will, of course, look forward to the entire month-long coverage of FIFA World Cup 2010. The USA team departing tomorrow. They'll be in action next Saturday in Australia in a friendly 8:30 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Coming up next, Notre Dame taking on Cornell in a semifinal of the NCAA Lacrosse Championship. For Alexi Lalas and Jeremy Schaap, Adrian Hilly and John Hartz, I'm Bob Lee. Once again, the final score of the USA 2, Turkey 1,